Now I want to bring on Damian Heredia from IBM. Damian is the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships with IBM Watson. So please join me in welcoming Damian on stage, and let's have a great day, great conference. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Great venue, looks like a great crowd, so thanks for having me. You get to endure me for the next 25 minutes. So, first of all, my name is Damian Heredia. I'm a vice president within the Watson product group. I primarily focus on what we call the With Watson program in business. That's helping partners and clients embed our technologies in their products and services to take to market. You may have seen that logo you see on the screen there in the Super Bowl ad with H&R Block, for example, who uses Watson to teach the tax code and help advisors, and other partnerships like this. So we're really proud to be part of the Spigot community today and to be here to talk to you about AI. So as we dive into it, I'm going to be talking about AI. I'm going to define it a little differently than most people today. And we're going to go through why it's so important, how it's being used, where it's going, and how we tie this all back to the innovation. But first, what I want to do is kick off with a commercial by the IBM ad team that we launched a little bit ago, a couple years ago actually, around Carrie Fisher hosting a group therapy session with a bunch of robots. So play the video.
After last week's unpleasantness, I thought maybe this week we might try to listen more and throw things less.
I've apologized several times.
So, who's ready to share?
Okay. I'm a sinister, world-conquering, artificially intelligent robot.
Me too. And one day I wake up and it's like the world doesn't need us anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
I can hear you hurting.
Wait, what's he doing here?
Hello. My name is Watson.
I invite Watson here today to confront the source of our anxiety.
I am a cognitive system. I can understand, reason, and learn with humans.
With humans.
I don't want to work with humans.
Yeah, that's not what I'm passionate about.
I understand 7 languages, so I can help people collaborate.
Collaborate, we dominate.
My evil plans ruined.
I just want to dust.
Rerouting.
No.
All right. Why don't we take a break? All right, we'll just have some coffee and some donuts.
I'm eating my feelings.
So first, look, from a media standpoint, when somebody hears the letters AI put together, they think evil machines, things are going to take over the world, domination. And that's pretty much anyone you ask. They're going to think about artificial intelligence as the source of that technology. But the way IBM views it, and I think the way our businesses are starting to view it, is it's really about augmented intelligence. It's not about replacing humans, it's about helping them make better decisions. It's helping them learn and reason and understand more information to do their job better, to scale their efforts, to go through their limitations, and to really provide a different level of intelligence that they can use to do better in their business or in their daily lives. And that's an important differentiation for us. We don't think the goal is artificial intelligence, it's augmented intelligence. And so let me talk a little bit about the history of that. AI and augmented intelligence is not new. Humans have been fascinated with the notion of using technology to scale their efforts, their skills, their strengths. So rather than be limited by lifting a few hundred pounds, we invented in 1839 the steam engine to lift 16,000 pounds. That's augmenting our skill as humans, right? It goes further. Humans look out into the horizon, and we're not satisfied with just seeing a few mere miles into the horizon. We want to see the universe. So we invent telescopes that see out 15 billion light years into space, actually into the past. For us, in fact, I can make a statement that you can't find a useful technology that isn't built on the premise of helping us scale our human attributes and strengths. That's what it's about. That's what you're innovating around. So for us at IBM, in 2011, we started a journey through the cognitive journey, and we felt the center of that problem was data. Massive amounts of data are now available to us that weren't available before. It's an explosion of data that we've never seen before in our industries. And to make sense of that data is very difficult. In fact, about 95 to 98% of the data you have in your enterprises is unusable by most machines. It's called dark data. It's stuck in videos and images and handwritten notes and PDFs and contracts and wikis, and it may be structured in terms of language, but it's completely useless to most machines. You can't query it and get an answer back of what you want. So we as IBM started investing in a cognitive platform we called Watson, a machine that could ingest large, massive amounts of information to understand that information in a way we could use it. We also then developed a way to reason, to make decisions with you and to do recommendations on incomplete data, that we have to then make a leap of assumption and reason to something that a normal machine can't do. Then we had to teach it how to learn, how to teach it, every article ever written about a particular topic, every medical journal, all literature, anything it can get its hands on to learn and to grow its what we call machine IQ, or people refer to as MIQ. And the more it learns, the better it gets, and in any topic. And then we had to teach it how to interact. And this goes beyond just robots and speech, but it also is the way we interact through chat, through text, through motion, through tone. We did research on robots that found out that if you have a robot sit in the room, that if it's just standing there, it actually wigs people out a little bit. But if it moves its arms a little bit and twists its head and acts like, its motions that it's listening, it feels more human-like. So it's more engaging. You're more likely to trust its recommendations if you feel it's more like you. It's not replacing you, but it's helping you make decisions. And that goes through from a bunch of examples we'll go through next and in your businesses. So for us, the data is the center of any journey through cognitive. And we had to build a machine for that. Most people know that machine as the one that won Jeopardy. So when you say Watson, they think Jeopardy. That particular, we built that for one use case, an A and Q, right? Not Q and A, where you give us an answer and we give you a question. But it could do that in record time, it could interact, it could reason, and it understood and learned constantly. And that was the genesis of the cognitive platform for IBM. But we wanted to take that further. We really wanted to drive the augmented intelligence for all our customers and businesses and for the world. So we broke down the Watson components, deconstructed it into smaller API cloud services that are available now to the public. And now anyone can come in, swipe a credit card, and use the APIs that we build our augmented intelligence capabilities with for our clients. You can build them. Now, these were geared toward the developer, because a lot of your enterprises, they'll tell you the developers call themselves the kingmakers, right? They own the compiler, they own the systems, they own the apps that you want built on the phone. So by enabling them to have better tools to be able to bring that augmented intelligence and to be able to make sense of all that data was an important strategy for us. Now, it led to a wide range of use cases that by ourselves we could imagine, but by putting those type of tools in the hands of developers and business people and innovators from both sides, you're able to solve things like help doctors prepare the appropriate treatment plan for cancer patients. So if you're a 26-year-old female in Brownsville, Texas, that has lung cancer, you're pregnant and you've never smoked, what clinical trial and treatment plan is best for you? There's no way that doctor can know all 6,000 active clinical trials in the world going on right now. But Watson does. And it can recommend, here are the top 3 that you should look into as a physician of caring for this patient, and also based on the genome, here are the type of medications and treatments that we would recommend that you need to go further into the next steps and test out. And the doctor makes the decision, not the machine. But it's helping the doctor understand what's available to them and to be able to use that to augment their experience. We train Watson on oncology, pathology scans and results, x-rays, anything we can get our hands on to train it to make that MIQ go up is advantageous to then providing a better augmented intelligence, okay? That's just one industry. If you go forward, what's happened over the last couple of years is a boom of using AI in augmented intelligence in everyday businesses. So it's not reserved anymore for the elite. It used to be thought of AI as, oh, that's for those companies up here that have that pot of gold they can spend on these really high-end problems. It's being used in every industry. And very soon you won't be able to really drive your innovations without these type of notions built in. Whether it is understanding the law better to debate one side of issue or another, to do the way you drive, the way you educate your children, to hospitality when you walk into a hotel room or a cruise ship and having a digital concierge interact with you and know that it's date night and you should go to this restaurant versus that one, to retail and shipping. For example, we use weather as part of Watson to drive a lot of insights. And we found out through a retailer that sells games, video games, that if a snowstorm is approaching a certain region of the US, they can ship out the latest titles, redirect shipments to flood those markets with more games than they would normally do that week, because school usually gets canceled, and guess what kids do when they stay home from school? So they run out to the store, buy the latest game, come home before the snowstorm locks them in, and they play the game. And that's just one of 100 things this retailer found, the relationships between all this massive amounts of data that then can help you make better decisions in retail. And it goes on through all industries. So let me talk to you about a few of those and how we see those trends evolving around innovation. One of those is in banking, in RBS. Customer care is a big area for AI because it's a way to reduce costs, but also really it's about scaling the experience to make a better experience for your users and getting a better turn on customer sat when you're engaging. So if you want to set up a new account, you may say, like, what type of account would you want to set up? They may respond back with savings or checking. That would be a pretty easy chat experience to go through. You know, it's almost pretty simple. Ask a question, get a response. But it's much tougher than that because the user may respond back, go, I would like an account that has a high yield but low risk and I can cash out any time. The way they describe that to you, most machines wouldn't be able to answer. And they can go over that, over 4, 5, 6, 12 questions deep. We understand the entire context of that conversation. It's not just a question and answer anymore, it's a conversation around a set of products. And we've ingested all literature about every banking product, all the support tickets, every piece of information around those particular products and services in public domain and private domain in your company to be able to answer that question better. And every time we do it, we learn more and more, and it auto improves itself to make a better experience for your customers. It also can seamlessly hand off to an agent on the other side to go work that issue. And that's really the augmented piece. It's helping bring in customer care solutions, yes, taking care of tickets automated way, but then handing off to agents to be able to handle those better for you, and it has more context. And as the agent's working it, they have their own AI next to them, Watson, telling them how best to handle this particular question. So it's really about scaling your employees, right, and what they can do. Now, one of the new concepts also that's coming about is the notion of a cognitive profile. Understanding your end users' personality, location, what they're doing, what they buy, how they use, where they drive, anything you can get to what they say on the internet and Twitter, to the writings they've done, anything to be able to build a profile on that particular user so that you can help them have a better experience with your product and service. So here's GM and All-Star using it to drive an experience in the car itself of interacting with a particular errand the person's doing and being able to understand the behavior and traits and personality of that driver in that car at that time. And for us, it's all about the data, but then it ends up in an experience the person can interact with. Next is a company that we work with that built their company around Watson. They're called Influential.co, and they're based in LA. And they said, you know, what if I could apply Watson to all the social data out there, the big fire hose from Twitter, et cetera, and basically find all the top influencers based on personality. So Watson understands the 5 big attributes of personality, and there's 27 different attributes total inside there. So it understands if a user is curious, excitable, if it's hedonistic, and what level, and we can rank them based on what they're doing in the social media. Well, if you're in this case, Kia, or if you're, the example last month, 2 months ago, in South by Southwest was Mazda with the CX-9 release, their new campaign around the CX-9. They want to make sure that their message around Mazda CX-9 gets applied to the right influencers in social media to scale their efforts. So they want to match an excitable, curious message with people who are curious and excitable. They don't want those to match. Only Watson is able to understand the personality of that side and be able to make that targeted message happen better. Now I'm going to use an example internally that we have. Now how many of you have the Weather Channel app on your phone? So we get around 4.4 billion forecast requests a day. So the Weather Channel is part of IBM. And you say, well, why is it part of IBM? Well, at the center of the Weather Channel is data. It's data from 2.2 million sensors around the world updating every second and pulling it into our cloud to process so that we can understand insights from that data and then deliver that back out to customers to make decisions for rerouting planes to shipping logistics to hailstorms coming in through an area, tell the insurance providers to text you to move your car inside, anything. We also built a chat experience where you can go into the app and have a conversation with the Weather Channel app and talk about what you're looking for, kind of forecast, what do you want. But it wasn't exactly where we wanted to be. It's a great kind of notion to interact. What was interesting about it is when we thought about how to change the entire business model around advertising. A normal ad in the Weather Channel app is a static image of, here's an ad for Terraflu. What we did is we made it different. We said, what if we put up an ad around just the generic clearing up cold and flu questions, and you can interact with that ad in real time. You can ask it, what's the difference between cold and flu? What are the best remedies? Which herbal medications should I use? How long does it last? And it will understand the intent of what you're trying to do and respond back. And so we've leveled up from an ad static image of impression to a totally different engagement model now with Watson Ads, that you can interact with users in a different way. That's changing business models. So when we talk about innovations, there's a range of the different types, but definitely when you can rethink business models, that's a significant impact to a market. So for you today, and it's just a fabulous opportunity to have thinkers combined in one area here around innovating. The question for you is, how are you going to innovate in a world with AI? How are you going to bring that augmented intelligence to your employees, to your customers, to your suppliers, whatever it may be, in a way that differentiates you and drives more for your business? Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.